and Southeast Development Commission bills into law. Northern youth shuns the August 1st nationwide anti-government protest, seeks for dialogue. On foreign scene, a plane crash in Nepal kills all 18 passengers on board and left the pilot injured. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. To stay with us. And now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has assented the Northwest and Southeast Development Commission bills into law, thereby setting the stage for the establishment of the two interventionist agencies to address development challenges in the Northwest and Southeast part of the country respectively, following years of insecurity. We have details in this report. The Deputy President of the Senate and sponsor of the Northwest Development Commission bill, Senator Jibrin Barau, disclosed the presidential assent during a chat with journalists in Abuja on Tuesday night. Correspondent Kunuji reports that expressing his happiness on the presidential assent to the bill, the Deputy President of the Senate in a media chat with journalists said the commission, when established, would help to drive development across the 7 states in the Northwest zone.
Appreciation and the appreciation of the entire people of the Northwest geopolitical zone. The fact that the President today signed the Northwest Development Commission bill, he signed into law, and so he has brought to life the Northwest Development Commission.
Similarly, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Ukize Kalu, expressed what he called an extravagant gratitude to the President Bola Tinubu for signing the Southeast Development Commission bill into law, thereby approving the creation of the Interventionist Commission.
It's a testimony, it's a demonstration that he's a leader to trust. He's a leader that has love of his people in his heart. What we need to do is to be patient. Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. For someone to do this, you know that person has a leader.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate has passed a sum of 2.67 trillion as contained in the 2024 Appropriation Act Amendment Bill. The bill was passed following the presentation of a report by the Chairman Committee on Appropriations, Senator Adiola Olamilekan. He said the amendment for capital and recurrent expenditures made provisions for key infrastructure projects omitted in the 2024 Appropriation Act and the recently approved national minimum wage. Upon consideration of all 13 clauses by the Committee on Supply, the Senate passed the bill for third reading.
Follow the need to provide for the government equity component of the renewed hope infrastructural project and other critical projects to be undertaken across the country, and other recurrent expenditure requirements like the provision for new minimum wage, among others, which necessitated the request for the amendment of 2024 Appropriation Act.
To authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation of the sum of 3,200 billion only for capital expenditure and the sum of 3 trillion only for recurrent expenditure for the year ending 31st day of December 2024.
Similarly, the Upper Legislative Chamber also passed a bill seeking to impose a one-time windfall tax on banks for foreign exchange forex gains. The bill was passed by the Upper Legislative Chamber after Sani Musa, chair of the Finance Committee, presented a report. While presenting his report, Musa said windfall tax is not meant to be paid by banks to their shareholders as dividends. He added that any bank that withholds a tax would be liable to pay 10% in addition to what they ought to have paid.
30 to 33 and a citation. The methodology we used was an interaction with the sponsors of the bill, request for stakeholders' inputs and comments and observations of the bill, review of relaxed existing legislation to meet international best practices, and we reviewed the stakeholders' inputs and consideration of the draft report. The objectives of the bill is to provide for the imposition of windfall profit levy and assessment and review of profits declaration.
The Nigerian Senate has adjourned its plenary till September 17, 2024 to proceed to 2-month annual recess. The announcement was made after the Senate resumed from its break at 7:10 p.m. and ended at 7:30 p.m. The annual recess does not imply that the National Assembly has been shut down. The National Assembly is on break, but members of both chambers, the Senate and the House of Representatives, will be on a daily basis busy doing their legislative duties. The work of the legislature does not start and end with the plenary sessions like all legislative assemblies across the globe. Their bulk work of which are done at the committee level.
Epoch-making legislation, which has even reduced the time of negotiation from 5 years to 3 years in view of the expiring effect of foodstuffs. So it's now necessary that we review it every 3 years instead of 5 years. This is again a landmark legislation, so congratulations to all. On that note, it is now my privilege to pronounce that this Senate stands adjourned till the 17th day of September 2024 at 11 a.m. prompt.
Four WAEC officials, including the head of National Office, Amos Josiah Dangote, were held in custody by the House Representatives Committee on Basic Examination. This followed a heated argument over whether WAEC is accountable to the Parliament or not. The officials claim WAEC is not a government agency, but lawmakers insisted it is, citing its creation by an act of the National Assembly and appropriation of funds. A motion was moved to hold the officials in custody pending investigation, but after a brief closed-door session, they were released and directed to return with relevant documents, including audited statement of account from 2018 to date and documents related to a 5 billion naira loan.
That in line with the statutes and the position of WAEC, WAEC is not a parastatal or ministry or agency of the government. Therefore, the situation as prevailed in government cannot be extended to WAEC. There is a portion on the convention on our statutes here.
Register.
The committee chairman, Honorable Ofoji Obuku, emphasized that WAEC is subject to Nigeria's law and cannot operate outside the National Assembly's supervision.
WAEC, an act of parliament. 2, your convention, section 14, clearly stipulates that WAEC, Nigeria, must comply with the legislative process of that country. 3, did WAEC, Nigeria, did you submit your budget to the Ministry of Education, who in turn submit that very budget or for that budget to the Ministry of Budget and bring to Parliament?
Know that we created you, the National Assembly created you. Definitely checks and balances. We must oversight you. We must oversight you. Even your IGR is not free money. Our children pay these monies. So you must give account when you appear to the National Assembly. Simple question. How did you do this? You had 2 million. You generated this. It's something we should know. The public should know.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, and various stakeholders from public and private sectors have expressed strong support for a bill to establish a National Safety Regulatory Board. The bill aims to develop effective laws regulating safety standards in public spaces, schools, transportation, construction, food processing and commercial facilities. Speaker Abbas, who was represented by the Minority Leader, Honorable Kingsley Chinda, emphasized the importance of safety standards and regulations for socio-economic development and well-being and encouraged stakeholders to contribute to the bill's success. He reiterated the 10th Assembly's commitment to citizen security and safety.
Standards and regulations are critical to the socio-economic development and well-being of any nation by safeguarding the lives and livelihood of the people. This insight can only be achieved by an efficient public institution, which the bill being evaluated today seeks to establish.
Chairman of the House Committee on Safety Standards and Regulations, Honorable Suleiman Abubakar Gumi, described the hearing as a significant milestone in enhancing safety standards and regulations.
The National Safety Regulatory Board will prioritize risk assessment, research, and capacity building to tackle emerging safety challenges. It will also play a pivotal role in raising public awareness and education on safety matters, empowering every Nigerian to contribute to a safety-conscious culture. I'm pleased to announce that the bill proposing the establishment of the National Safety Regulatory Board has been shared extensively.
You're still on to Galaxy News. We'll quickly take a break, and when we return, the news continues. Just stay with us. We'll be right back. We're glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect to us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTVNews. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp if you simply share a story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 018-666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. Northern Youth Initiative for Peace and Good Governance has made a conscious decision in the interest of peace and stability to shun the August 1st nationwide protest. The Ariwa group says the decision to distance itself is in the interest of peace and stability of the nation, while emphasizing that the planned protest against the federal government has no good intentions. Speaking at a town hall meeting in Kaduna on Wednesday, the group says it has realized that protest is not the most effective way to bring about positive change. Additionally, they say history has shown that protests often escalate beyond control, leading to devastating consequences, as seen in the NSAS protests of October 2020 that took place in some parts of Nigeria.
Government is just 1 year. It's not up to 2 years in office. We should give him opportunity. We should give him time. That is what we are crying for. That is what we are telling our people. As a leader of protester, I said we should give time.
The meeting was necessitated with the recent agitations calling for an end to bad governance, and we felt as young people there is need for us to always be diplomatic in our approach towards governance. And that is why we have come here today to bring youth together to discuss the issues that has risen from these agitations.
The atmosphere in Nigeria today is not favorable to anyone. whether the antagonist or the protagonist of the protest process. I cited examples of my state, which is Kano State. I said the last election we held, the people were jubilating that their party has won, and out of excitement there was violence. They burnt people's houses, they burnt some offices like that. And the situation now is more dangerous than that time.
Council of Chiefs in Ogun State has warned the Nigerian youth against the planned 10-day nationwide hunger and hardship protest. They said that such decision cannot solve the current economic crisis being faced in the country, but rather destroy the nation that the government has built over the years. Speaking at a press conference held to mark the 10th anniversary of Ijemo Day in Abeokuta, Ogun State capital, the Ijemo High Chief, Chief Oluyinka Kufile, urged the youth to dialogue with the President Bola Tinubu's government instead of the protest. He warned that such protests may lead to the destruction of government properties and infrastructures.
In Abeokuta, I will not advise my own children to go and involve in violent protests because it doesn't resolve any issue. Okay? It doesn't resolve any issue. If we have some buildings and we have no money to renovate them,
leaders and members of the Southern Borno Development Association have demanded the reinstatement of the deposed Chief Whip of the Senate, Senator Ali Ndume. Recalled that Ndume was removed from his position following his outburst on the state of the nation and was replaced by Senator Tahir Munguno. Correspondent Kuluji reports that leaders and members of the group loyal to embattled Senator Ndume converged on a unity fountain in Abuja with placards of various inscriptions demanding for justice for their man. Addressing journalists on behalf of the body, the chairman of Southern Borno Development Association, Mohammed Ibrahim Biu, accused the Senate of not being fair to Ndume, noting that there was no big deal regarding his comment, as all Nigerians know the truth.
We felt Senator Ndume was not given a fair hearing. And what Senator Ndume did say is not something new, because other senators of the APC have also expressed similar views on the floor of the Senate. And everybody knows Senator Ndume for being frank on all issues.
While pleading with the Senate to rescind its decision and restore Ndume back to his position as a Senate Chief Whip, Biu said with the removal of Ndume from his position, the people of Southern Borno had been deprived of their voice in the Senate. He described Ndume as a vocal and ardent believer in the cause of justice and fairness who will not keep quiet in the face of oppression and injustice.
From Southern Borno Senatorial District, Senator Mohamed Ali Ndume is our only hope in the National Assembly. His position as the majority chief whip, that is the only position that Southern Borno has in the National Assembly and even at the federal level.
In line with the Operation Delta Sanity Tree initiative of the Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala to restore sanity both in kinetic and non-kinetic approach, the forward operating base of the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Delta has conducted a free medical rhapsody in the Delta community of Madago in Warri's West, a local government area of the state. Our correspondent Dele Fason has the rest of the story.
Leading his team to the coastal host community, which has no presence of medical facilities, the commanding officer for the operating base, Escravos, Navy Captain Olayinka Aliyu, said the outreach is part of the Nigerian Navy non-kinetic approach.
Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, launched Operation Delta Sanity 3 on the 10th of July 2024. And as part of the two-pronged approach to fighting the...
Some of the community leaders who benefited from the exercise commended the Nigerian Navy for the gesture, as the commanding officer harps on cementing the relationship.
This is a very nice exercise. This is the first of its type. We are just seeing it for the first time over the years. Now there's no clinic in this place. The cottage hospital here was burned down during crisis, and till now it's not been built back. And now we are lack of medical facilities between the area. We are just have a little health center.
I would like to thank the Nigerian Navy for such a medical outreach. It's a very laudable gesture. We appreciate on behalf of the community, Madago community in Ugbodo. And we have not experienced this for many years, not until they are coming today to express this love and kindness to the people of Madago community and the community around in Ugbodo.
The means of giving back to the much that we have received from the community is only fair enough to have this outreach happen within Madago. And other outreaches are still coming, which is part of the educational outreach before the resumption of school.
In fostering a good working relationship between the military and the civilians, medical rhapsody of this nature is key in ensuring that they cement the relationship. Just like the words of the Chief of the Naval Staff, the civil-military relationship is key in ensuring that crude oil theft and all forms of criminality is brought to the very minimum level. From Madago community, Daily Fast reporting for Galaxy News.
And I'll move over to the foreign desk for more news. Hello and welcome to the foreign news. A plane crash in Nepal killed all 18 passengers on board on Wednesday and left the pilot injured, police said. The Sauraya Airlines plane crashed during takeoff on a test flight from Nepal's capital of Kathmandu to Kurhara. The plane took off and turned right before it crashed in the eastern section of the airport, Nepal Civil Aviation Authority said. Kathmandu Airport General Manager Jagannath Narolu told newsmen further details were still being confirmed. Footage of the incident showed a large smoke plume with firefighters at the scene. Sauraya Airlines operates the Bombardier CRJ-200 regional jet on domestic route. The plane was scheduled to undergo maintenance for a month beginning Thursday. It is unclear why it crashed, a spokesperson for the carrier said. Nepal's aviation sector has a poor safety record due to insufficient training and maintenance. The European Union has banned all Nepalese airlines from its airspace. And that's all we have on Galaxy News. Thank you so much for being a part of the news. My name is Nedwar Gimazaka. Do join us by 9 p.m.